Welcome back to America Decides. Big headline this morning, all about tariffs, China, United States. What's going on? Was it a breakthrough? Was it not? Is it terminal, temporary? Who knows? This is the president, though, talking about it.
We achieved a total reset with China after productive talks in Geneva. Both sides now agreed to reduce the tariffs imposed after April 2nd to 10% for 90 days as negotiators continue in the largest structural issues.
I'm going to turn now to CBS News MoneyWatch correspondent Kelly O'Grady. Kelly, great to see you. Thanks so much for helping me out here. Terminal, I used that word a second ago. That might have been the effect on the U.S. economy had this not happened. And it is temporary. There's lots of details to be sorted out, but the president started all this. Now it feels as if he's backing away from a good share of it.
Yeah, I think there's a big question around how much damage was done to the economy with consumer sentiment, with businesses canceling all these orders from China. You can't just press a button and everything goes back to normal. This does take a while. But I point to what happened in the markets today. You had investors celebrating. I mean, when this news broke, I got a phone call waking me up at 4 a.m. Major, and then I was immediately on the phone with investors saying, how do you feel about this? And there was a lot of optimism that this happened so quickly and what could be gotten in the future from all of this momentum. But there was also the caveat that 7 years ago, almost to the day, Major, it was Trump 1.0. There was a cease between the China and the U.S. During that trade war. And a few weeks later, it was back to tit-for-tat retaliation. So there's optimism, but also the knowledge that we have been here before, and the roller coaster did continue.
And Kelly, it strikes me as fascinating that in this dialogue, the United States is lowering its tariffs with China before it lowers them for anyone else in the region. And listening to what the Trump administration was saying just last week, the idea was to isolate China and do other deals first. And the sequencing seems to be in a completely different space.
Well, the tariffs on China at 30% are still higher than the others in the region because they did go down to that 10% baseline after that April 9th pause on reciprocal tariffs. But there does seem to be momentum on these other fronts. And remember, you've had businesses coming to the White House, including Target and Walmart, saying, President Trump, they're going to be empty shelves. And I think there's an element of concern about what that could mean long term.
Real quickly, is 90 days, this temporary allocation of time, going to change any of the calculations that you just mentioned? Businesses trying to make forward-looking investment choices, hiring choices, and the like.
I think you're going to see a surge in imports again, like we did in March, but you are going to see businesses hold off on making any long-term investments, whether that be reshoring or ordering product maybe for the holidays.
Kelly O'Grady, always a pleasure. Thank you so much for helping me out.